Welcome, everyone. You've just stepped into a sacred space where purpose meets preparation, where we come together to strengthen not just skills, but spirit, character, and legacy. Here inside the huddle in Mom's locker room of legacy, we go beyond the scoreboard. We speak life into vision. We nurture identity, fuel growth, and equip families with tools to thrive, on and off the field. This isn't just a workshop, it's a movement, a God-led playbook for legacy building, financial wisdom, emotional strength, and spiritual alignment. Disclaimer: the content provided in this video is for educational and inspirational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, financial, medical, or psychological advice. By watching this video, you voluntarily release moms, mothers of motivated sons, It Had to Happen, ETM, Dr. Erica Wilson, all facilitators, affiliates, and contributors from any and all liability. All content, including audio, video, graphics, presentations, workshop materials, and commentary, is the exclusive property of M.O.M.S and It Had to Happen, TM. Unauthorized reproduction, recording, distribution, or use of any portion of this content is strictly prohibited without express written consent. This video may contain copyrighted material not specifically authorized by the copyright owner. Such content is used under the provisions of the Fair Use Act for purposes such as education, commentary, and nonprofit awareness. We do not claim ownership of third-party content used under fair use. If you are the copyright owner and have concerns, please contact us directly for resolution. Thank you for supporting moms, mothers of motivated sons, where faith meets the field and legacy lives beyond the game. So lace up, lean in, and get ready to join the huddle where every voice matters, every journey is honored, and victory starts within. Let's go. Please be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, Mothers of Motivated Sons.
All right. Happy Thursday. We're back again. Listen, welcome inside the huddle in Mom's locker room of legacy. And tonight our topic is the power of your credit score. So this workshop provides a general overview of credit and its role in everyday life. Participants will learn what a credit score is, how it's calculated, and why maintaining good credit can open doors to financial opportunities. Whether you're just starting your credit journey or looking to improve your score, this session offers valuable insights to help guide your financial decisions. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring in the money champion, Miss Ashley Cunningham.
Hey.
Welcome. Ooh. Then we have the project manager weighing in all the way from Atlanta, Jasmine White. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. I am here. It will be audio only tonight, but I am here.
All right. And then we have another heavyweight champion in the building, our nutritionist, Miss Naomi Adek. Welcome.
Hey, Naomi.
And then we have a special guest tonight. We're going to go ahead and welcome him on in. We're going to call him a champion as well, Mr. Malik. Welcome.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Awesome. I'm going to give you guys the floor. We're right here in the huddle inside Mom locker room of legacy. But before we go, kind and most gracious Father, God, we come to you, oh God, as humbly as we know how, Father. God, we give you the glory, God, the honor, God, and the praise, Father God. Father God, I pray, God, that you open the hearts and the minds of your people on tonight to receive this information that's about to be given, oh God. And Father God, I ask, God, that you allow the Holy Spirit to speak through the both of them, Father, to feed your people, Father, about credit, oh God. God, I ask, God, as they decrease, God, you increase on tonight, Father God. God, have thy own way in your Son, Jesus' name, God. We give you the glory, the honor, and the praise, because God, it all belongs to you. Amen, amen, and amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for that, Miss Erica. Malik, it is great to have you on here. For
Thank
those of
you.
you who have tuned in, if you don't know, I am the money champion here at Mom. So my goal is to make sure that I'm educating you guys across the board when it comes to finances. And if you were on the last workshop, we did kind of briefly talk about how credit does play a role when it comes to just purchasing houses, right? But it's not necessarily just houses that have a huge role when it comes to your credit. So Malik, I do want to ask you, can you first off, before I do it, let me tell you guys a little bit about Malik, okay? Malik ain't just a person who has decided and wanted to wake up one day and said, I'm gonna do credit. Okay. He didn't just go online and just Google on YouTube and said, this is what I'm gonna do. He's helped over 3,000 people fix their credit. 3,000 people fix their credit with 800 active clients. So that right there already tells you the scale of what his business is all about. Okay. Not only that, he is close to helping people erase over $1 million when it comes to inaccurate information on their credit report. That ain't no lightweight. That's the heavyweight over here. Okay. So we ain't dealing with nothing small. We dealing with big Malik. Okay. Big Malik. So Malik, I do want to ask you, when it comes to credit, what does credit mean?
In all honesty, credit just means your credibility. It just means, one group or banks in this, in a bank or a lender gave you money, and we seen how you were able to pay that money back and how great you did with paying that money back. So you know what? We're gonna give you some money too, and we'll either match what they gave, we might go a little under what they gave, or we might go way more than what they gave you, just for the simple fact that your credibility of paying back lenders is great, exceptional, it's excellent. Okay, because I mean, at the end of the day, why would you want to lend money to someone who isn't good at paying money back? You just don't want to
Okay.
do that. So it's your credibility.
So you're telling me that if you got good credit, right, that
Right.
the banks will contact you and say, we see that you have great credit and you're paying back the money that you're owing other banks or other individuals or lenders. So we are going to extend more credit to you.
So when it comes to them contacting you, they won't necessarily contact you. And when they do contact you, say for example, I don't think I have anything here, but say for example, when you may receive some mail from, and you receive some mail from Capital One, it may
Mm-hmm.
say that you're being pre-qualified. Now, I do want people to understand that is a ad. Okay, that's an advertisement. All they're doing is taking demographics and information that they may have access to send you an offer to see if you will be approved. Okay, so they won't necessarily reach out to you. But as far as when you are good at paying things back, when they pull your credit reports, whether you're submitting an application for a credit card or a auto loan, a personal loan, etc., they will take a look at your credit history to see, okay, they gave you money, a 2 year history or more of how you were repaying those funds back. And as you said earlier, you need credit for everything. It's more than just houses. It's mainly five things that you need credit for. That's living, transportation, employment, utilities, and insurance. Those are the five things that you need credit for. And I tell people, take care of your credit because it will take care of you.
We can't hear you. You're on mute, Erica.
I'm trying to type it as you're saying it, so slow down for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. It just flow out like water.
Look, and that's how you know this ain't scripted, right? It's just coming
Nah,
out. It's
for
just
sure.
coming out.
It's
This
a
is
passion
knowledge
of
that's
mine.
happened over time.
For sure. So I'm gonna repeat that one more time. When you're dealing with credit, as an adult, whether that's a young adult, mid range, or even if you are older, you need credit mainly for five aspects. Okay. Those five aspects are transportation, living, employment, insurance, and utilities. So if we were to break down those five aspects, when you're dealing with transportation, when you're going to a dealership or your bank to see about getting approved for an auto loan, they're going to run your credit to see if you have any car credit. So if you're trying to get a $20,000 car, a $30,000 car, they're going to see if you were giving any money Okay, let's say this. Let's say you're trying to apply for a $30,000 vehicle, and it's your first car. You're going to be considered a car buyer. So since you don't have any car credit to go off of to see, oh, well, this bank gave you a $20,000 auto loan. Well, we won't mind giving you a $30,000 auto loan because you're a first time car buyer. They're going to just look at your overall credit story or your resume in a sense, right? Once they do that, that's when they'll let you know, okay, this is your down payment if you have one. This is your APR, which is your interest rate, okay? And they're going to go off of that. If you already have a car and you're trying to, let's say for example, you have a $30,000 car already, and you're trying to get a $40,000 or $50,000 car, they're going to look at your credit history of you paying that $30,000 car to see if they're going to approve you for that $40,000 or $50,000 car. So it's just a step ladder. So say for example, with me, I had 6 cars at once, and most of my cars at that time were cars that were 50,000 or more. So when I was getting car after car after car, or even starting at my very first car that was $25,000, I was a first time car buyer. So all I did was put down $1,000. So I was the first time car buyer, right? But year after year, I kept getting new cars. I kept getting new cars. So once I kept getting new cars, that's when oh, okay, you're trying to get a $30,000 car. We seen you had a $20,000 car. We can do that. Or when I ended up getting my first $50,000 car, they seen that, okay, you were great at paying your $30,000 car. When I moved on getting my $80,000 car, they seen how I was paying the $50,000 car. So it's really just a step ladder. If we're moving on now to living, which is a house, getting a house, it's kind of more complicated because, as you know, because you're dealing with financials and things of that nature. So I'm gonna just use it in the sense of if we are renting, or a lease, such as an apartment. All an apartment complex or property, a screening company going to do, they're going to look at your background. They're going to turn around and look at your income, and then of course they're going to look at your credit score. So if you got a clean background, check. If you have income, as they say, 3 times or 3.5 or maybe even twice the requirements, that's a check. And as far as your credit score, different apartment properties, they have their own requirements as far as scores. But if you don't have anything real bad, real heavy, real big derogatory accounts, then that's a check as well. They can also approve you conditionally. So if you check out on your background and you check out on your income, they're going to turn around and say, well, your credit, it needs some work. So we're going to still approve you because we don't want to turn around, turn away a good tenant, a possible tenant. So we're just going to increase your rent, maybe $50 or $100, or we're going to just ask you for an additional deposit. When it comes to your utilities, they're going to do a soft check sometimes or even a hard pull just to see where you are with your credit, because at the end of the day, you're paying monthly on utilities. They want to see how you are when it comes back to paying certain things on time. When it comes to employment, now, they say don't judge a book by its cover, but jobs will judge you if you have bad credit. Okay. For some reason, if you have bad credit, that means you're going to be a bad employee, unfortunately. Right. So work on your credit. And lastly, insurance. Okay. Car insurance doesn't just look at your driving record. They want to look at your credit scores as well, because also for some reason them judging a book by its cover. If you have great credit, then obviously you're gonna be a great driver. So if you have bad credit, that means you're just gonna be hardware driving. You have a lot of points on your license, ABCXYZ. So everything ties together. So those 5 aspects, really what we all have to deal with as being a adult. You need to get your credit together if you want to have better rates as far as not apartments, but car loans or credit cards, or if you want to have little to no down payment when it comes to cars, or if you want to have little to no down deposits when it comes to you getting an apartment or even utilities.
Okay, so I have a question.
It's a lot. I know it's a lot.
It is a lot, but it's something that most people didn't know. Because me, for instance, I didn't know that jobs ran your credit score to see if you were, a liable employee. I didn't know that. I didn't know
They'll take a look for sure.
So, you know what I'm saying? That's another reason why we're having these conversations. So for those who are not getting those jobs, it wasn't your resume, it was your credit score. But I do want to ask you this, right? What about the people who say cash is king? It circles around in our community a lot, but clearly, you know what I'm saying, with what you just dished out on us, credit is king to me. So can you hit on that a little bit and what that means to you?
Cash is king, but credit is power. All right. I want y'all to understand that cash is king, but credit is power, because at the end of the day, first off, you can have $1 million saved. That $1 million isn't going to be worth $1 million next month, next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, etc., because of inflation.
That
Okay.
word.
So just sitting, being liquid, okay, so what? You saved you some money. I commend that, because there's a lot of people that don't have $1,000 saved. 60% of Americans do not have $1,000 saved for an emergency. So if you are liquid and you have a lot of money saved, kudos. That's a great major step. However, okay, you have, let's take that $1 million down some. Let's say you have $250,000, $250,000 saved up. Okay, you don't have good credit and you looking at it as, oh, I got 20,000, I have $250,000 saved. Okay, let's say you wanted to go get a $20,000 to $30,000 car. Okay, you can do that. That's cool. But once you drive that car off the lot, it depreciates. So that same 30,000 that you just cashed out on for that vehicle, now that car is worth 20 some thousand. So you're losing money, right? But you're also taking out of that quarter million, that 250,000 that you have. Now you want to go buy a house, well, or maybe invest money into a property or whatnot, depending on the amount, right? Let's say you found a great buy and it's $100,000. Now you're taking that 100 from what you have left over with that 250, which is now what, 220, 230. Now you're in the hundreds. Yes, you're able to dish out that cash to buy things, but at the end of the day, that stuff adds up. Okay. And that's coming from someone. I used to buy $50,000 watches, $20,000 watches. I buy all these cars and do all of these things. It adds up. I don't care how much money you have. It adds up. Okay. So what I so I want you guys to understand, if you have credit, use these other people's money. It's a term in the financial world called OPM, which is other people's money. That's the bank's money. And one thing that our community, our people of color, one thing that we do is we are afraid of credit. And I don't understand why. I literally have videos on my page going back to 2019 where I am sitting down with clients and I'm running their credit, live credit applications. And I remember in 2019 when I stayed in Midtown Atlanta, I had a client who came over and she was just so afraid to run her credit. She was just so afraid. I'm like, listen, I got you together. Your credit, you're 730, 740 plus across the board. Run your credit. Get this card with Navy Federal, because she was a Navy Federal member. And at the time I had a $25,000 Navy Federal credit card. I said, listen, Navy Federal gives the bag. All right. Go get that bag. You don't have to spend the bag, but go get it. Because one thing about our people, we're so afraid to get that money in our hands because we think we're going to just let it burn a hole in our pocket and we're just going to waste it. If you feel that way about yourself, that means you think, I mean, that's kind of thinking low of yourself. That's you thinking you don't have any discipline. And you're not supposed to think that way, because when it comes down to people of other ethnic backgrounds or other races, whether white, Hispanic, Asian, Indian, when they're getting the money, say for example, they're getting approved for a $25,000 credit card, that they are the way to go. If you get a $25,000 credit card, what they're going to do is take 5,000 from that. They're going to put it towards something that may make them 10,000. Yep. They're going to pay back the 5 that they use. So now they still have all of their $25,000 for their credit limit. Mm-hmm. And then they have $5,000 liquid, and it's rinsing and repeating over and over and over again. When we get it, man, that's great. When we get the 25K, man, we finna go to Lennox, we finna go to Saks, we finna go take a trip, we finna go to Louis, we finna go to Gucci, we finna go eat, we do all of these things, and we're buying a lot of liabilities. Now,
but we're not buying no assets.
We're not buying any assets. Now, granted, you can take a liability and turn it into an asset, but that deals with you. That deals with the person, right? But we be so afraid to get the money, and I say no one else is complaining about getting a $20,000, $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 credit card. So why are we? So we have to have more faith and confidence in ourselves to know when we get this money, we're going to do right with the money. Okay. We're going to do right with the money.
You're so right about that. I always like to tell people, you know, you deserve a life of abundance. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it's passed down from, you know, just our history, but African American people, we spend the most money. We
Yes.
are consumers.
We
So
drive
there's no
everything.
money. There is money. We're just putting our money in other places that aren't making us any money. Like you said, I can go out and I can go buy a Gucci bag.
Yes.
But if I go put, I don't know how much a Gucci bag is, so don't judge me. I don't really do name
It's
brands.
fine. Let's just say
I'm gonna
1,500.
say like $5,000. I don't know. I
Okay.
feel like there's a person that's $5,000 out there. If there is, I would never. I don't care how much money I make. I would never spend $5,000 on a purse. I barely carry a purse because I leave it everywhere I go if I do have it. But that's neither here nor there. But if I go here and spend 5,000 on a Gucci purse instead of making sure I do have an emergencies fund, or I do put it towards an investment, and then whatever is left over, I can put it towards a trip or whatever the case may be. It's like we kind of do that backwards, where we're like, hey, I just came into some money, baby. Let's go ahead and book this trip to Cabo or Turks and Caicos. Let's go get this crab boil. You know what I'm saying? And we're partying all night. And we're not doing anything to fix us financially.
It's like, what are you celebrating for?
Right. So I when you said the story of the lady, you're like, hey, I got this plan together for you, but she was scared to go forward with it. Even just in the financial industry, I could sit down and write you a financial needs analysis, which is like a GPS for where you are to where you want to get to. It maps out how much money you need to put aside on a monthly basis, all those things. And people will walk away because they're more fearful of what that future holds. It's change. People are already hesitant towards change.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, it's going to hurt either way. So now you got to be able to choose your heart. Would you rather be where you're at, expecting the same result, or try to look at something different where, you know, the outcome could be what it is that you desire when you write your Facebook post?
For sure. And, you know, based off of like this question about overcoming the fear, I feel as the best way to overcome the fear is to be an example. That's it. You got to be an example. And what I mean by being an example is not getting these cards and swiping and losing all your money. And now you can't pay it back. Because one of the many rules that I give my clients is if it's not in your checking account, don't swipe it. Okay. There's no reason why you have a $25,000 credit card going to Louis buying a $3,000 bag and you only have $500 in your checking account. That's not smart. Okay. Because you got to pay that money back.
Mm-hmm.
But being an example of someone who has taken the money and has done right and has flipped the money or has doubled their money or some type of way walking into a profit, that is the way to pretty much eliminate and to break that fear. Because if you have to be an example. You have to be an example. So if I turn around, I have a $25,000 credit card and I show everyone I have this $25,000 credit card and I find something to where I put money into it. And then that 5,000 that I took out of that 25 made me 10, made me 7, or even made me 6. I'm walking into profit because when you have a lot of profit, that's when it then becomes wealth. Because now at that point, you have a lot of residual income coming in to where you don't even have to touch your money. Okay.
Right.
Because rob Peter to pay Paul, it's a cycle. It's like living paycheck to paycheck. Like you don't know where you're getting, leveraging credit to become an asset. What would you recommend doing? So, low cost businesses such as laundromats. You have storage units. What else is low cost?
More so like those little cash places, right?
Yeah, places where you can hire. Okay, so think about when it comes to a storage unit, right? So, because I actually know some people, they don't own storage units, but I know some people that work in storage units, and we're talking about the finances and whatnot. Don't tell nobody, but we're talking about certain things. And car wash, yes, that's the one I forgot. I was thinking, Samantha, thank you. But you have all these units. You have 100+ units, and they're making so much money. And think about how many people you normally typically see at a storage working at a storage, facility. You have maybe the manager, assistant manager. You might have, of course, a maintenance person. I've probably seen only about 3 to 4 people ever. So imagine a storage facility making, I don't know, $100,000 a month, and you're paying 4 employees. You're not paying them a salary, and it's not like you're paying them, let's say, $3,000 every week. They're making probably some good money, maybe, depending on how all of those logistics are. But even if, let's say, for example, they were dishing out $5,000 at the most every single month, that's $15,000 that's coming out of $100,000, and the expenses may be, I don't know, another five. So you got what, $20,000 coming out of $100,000. I don't know about y'all, but I would love to walk away with $80,000 in my pocket after paying everything.
Yeah.
Because if you do the math, I mean, my math might be, I don't know, what's that, 960,000 a year, maybe, or something like that. You're getting close to $1 million that you're making. So at the end of the day, that's storage units. When it comes to laundromats are normally ran literally with probably like 2 to 4 people again. And all you're doing is hiring a maintenance person. Like, say for example, if it was me, I have a maintenance person. I have maybe 1 or 2 family members. Okay. I'm the owner. I like to be in the field. Okay. Yes, being a boss, you can point fingers and delegate, but I like being in the field because at the end of the day, that's how I can train or teach people or to speak about things, because how can you speak about things that you don't know?
Right.
So if it's 4 people at a laundromat, you got your maintenance worker that'll possibly fix dryers and washers when they need to be fixed. You have a manager or assistant manager that's just overseeing, making sure stuff is there. They're clocking in, literally not really doing anything. And then me being the boss, I'm coming in, emptying the coins, counting the money. It's self-ran. It's literally self-ran, and you're hands on a little bit. Same thing with a car wash. How many people do you see at a car wash?
I don't
Literally,
see
no.
none unless you got the little thing where they driving through. Other than
You
that,
see,
I'm so
you see
car
what I'm
washing.
saying?
Nobody.
And because you do have those 2 models. You have
Mm-hmm.
the automated, assembly drive-through type, and then you have where
The
you can clean it
self-service.
yourself, self-service one. So it's like there are different ones out here. Vending machines are cool. The only thing is you have to find a place that allows you to, that will want you to do it. Some places want to break down the money with you, so you have to make sure that you negotiate those type of things, because remember, anything in life is negotiable. Anything. And then secondly, you have to make sure that it's in a location that is high traffic, because I mean, yes, you can still make money in a low traffic spot, but try to get as much as you can. Get it to where you're in there constantly every week, every 2 weeks, replacing stuff. Because guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna go to Costco, you're gonna go to Sam's Club, especially if you end up getting a business card. You get a business card with them or whatnot. You go get you a credit card with them. You buy everything in bulk, chips, candy, juices, or whatever the case may be. You're replacing it. That's that. And then you can get a vending machine on your credit. You can get a vending machine on your credit. You just got to find one to make sure that it's okay. Because you could buy a used one, but no one wants to buy something used that needs to be fixed. But get you a nice vending machine. If you want to get a brand new one, you might be looking at $2,500 to $3,000. Get one. Get one where you can tap. Instead of just money or inserting cards. Get one where you can tap, because everything is pretty much tap, and that's that. That's that. Yeah, put it in neutral. Like, man, it's ways out here. Parking lots. You can go try to find you a parking lot, buy you a lot or land to where you can have trucks, trailers to come park and rest. Think about those rest stops, the pilots, trucking park. See, I'm telling you.
They're literally parked on the side of the road, needing places because they run out of their hours. You know what I'm saying? And there are not a lot of places where trucks are accommodated for that.
Correct. That's why you have those pilots that are sharing with Wendy's. Say, for example, Boulder Crest Road. You got a pilot in Wendy's right there.
They're making more room for the trucks on the side now too. I don't know if you've seen like all the construction that they have over there. So yeah, that's definitely what to get into.
This is an evolving world. It's get down and lay down. And I'm not laying down for nobody. I don't even want to get down. I don't want to be the one laying it down. So you got to find a way to make it for yourself. But it's a lot of ways to make money out here, because guess what? They print it every day. Okay, so there's plenty of money out here. We got to find ways to get it. Even myself will want to try to get it. ATM machines are cool. Make sure of course, you have insurance on them just in case people try to do certain things to the ATM machines. I keep seeing a post that says instead of buying your girl a $10,000 Chanel bag, buy her 3 ATMs that can generate $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Like that's true. I would love to do that instead of buying her that. But sometimes you got to encounter women or men who um want those type of things. Sometimes people want the materialistic stuff, the stuff that we can't take with us. But buying an ATM machine or a parking lot or having a car wash, a storage facility, all of these things are things that you can pass down. It's residual income. It's residual income.
I think that's the one thing that we miss out on is that residual and passive income, right? Like you said, most times that we come into money, we're so quick to kind of spend it, and we're not making our money work for us. We are working for our money.
For
and
sure.
That is another reason why, like, again, these workshops are so important, because this is advice most people won't get face-to-face conversations or just passing people by or just even on YouTube. They're going to lead them with, not YouTube because we on YouTube, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. But they'll lead them with like, you can make $10,000 by just getting the ATM, but they're not telling you how.
It's the real people in. It's marketing. It's marketing. We're in a marketing or content world. I started credit repair, or I like to really say credit consulting, but I started this field in 2018. And it was a little saturated. There were more older people than younger people now. And when 2020 hit,
You done started something, Malik. You done started something.
Good. Listen, I'm here to plant that seed. I'm planting that seed. I'm trying to water it a little bit too. And then y'all might turn up and boom. Like, this is the same stuff I tell my NFL players, my rappers, my celebrity clients, my influencers. I'm not going to tell them something just because they may have all the funds to do it. I'm gonna tell you too, because I'm telling you, there are people who, and I'm sorry for changing the subject, but there are people who will take that $25,000 credit card, max it out, use that full 25K, but they're putting it into something that's going to turn around and make them 50,000. So now they're paying back that 25. Their credit took that hit. Then mind you, I'm telling you this responsibly because I don't want your credit to take any type of hit. But they're paying that 25 off, and now they got 25 liquid. They might then take maybe 10 of that 25, put the 15 over there, take 10 of that 25, maybe do what they did to get the 25, but maybe slim it, what's the word? Scale it down a little bit to where then it could be on a repeating cycle. So that 10 could turn into 20. They take that 10, put it to the side. Like it's I don't want to say money laundering, because we're not doing
that's illegal. That's illegal.
Yeah, but it's literally rinse and repeat. Because when I say rinse and repeat, when it comes to money, I don't want to tie to money laundering at all.
Right.
Business is literally taking money, using it for something. Then once that profit comes, take that money, put it to the side, and do it again. That's why when you hear people talking about real estate, they're saying how, especially because I want to say it's tax free. When you take money from an investment property, then you put it towards another investment property instead of taking that money and buying like liabilities and other things. Like it's assets.
Samantha, you were literally asking the same thing that I was just about to ask him when he was done. For the people who are saying, okay, I got good credit as personally, but now I do want to open a business. How can I leverage my personal credit in order for it to kind of spill over into my business credit?
So first off, they're going to look at your personal credit whenever you're dealing with business credit. I know you guys may see sometimes maybe on social media where they're saying, oh, you can just use only your EIN for certain things, which is true. But typically when you're trying to do a lot of things with your EIN only, especially when it comes to like trying to gain capital and stuff, they're going to need some type of financials like tax returns. So if your business is brand new, or you haven't filed taxes, then you can kind of just hold on, just hold on. You gotta get to that point. But you guys may also have seen where they're saying you can get $150,000 with no docs and stuff. Like the verbiage with a lot of stuff, a lot of content nowadays is to bait you and to reel you in, because you're getting people who, I'm gonna be real with you. I can do it because I'm very blunt with my clients, okay? Because I'm here to help you. You're a reflection of me. But a lot of times, a lot of marketers are playing on those who are desperate to get their credit fixed because they need certain things or want certain things. or they're playing on your shallowness. I got a lamb truck, a Lamborghini Urus, and you might want that car too, knowing that you only made $30,000 a year. But because you want nice things, which we all do, you're going to play on that person's shallowness because they want the liabilities or the materialistic things. Now you have a client, you know. But you do need your personal credit for your business credit. Um, I did see someone that had a question about, are you turning personal into business? You're not necessarily turning personal into business because they're separate. So they're taking personal. Thank you. So they're taking personal credit, making it to business. No, it's not that they're taking it. Personal is personal. Business is business. But to get business credit, they're going to take a little peek on the personal because your business could be making $50,000 a month, right? That's a pretty good sustaining business, depending on the expenses and things of that nature, right? But they want to see how you are as a consumer. They want to make sure that as a consumer, you're paying back Capital One, you're paying back Wells Fargo, you're paying back Chase, you're paying back Navy, you're paying back your student loans, you're paying back your auto loans. They want to see how you are on the personal side with paying things. So for an example, in 2019, I started my business legally on paper. Okay, that's when I resigned from T-Mobile Corporate because I was with T-Mobile Corporate for 6 years. I started my business in the spring of 2019, and I ended up getting my first business credit card with Bank of America. They gave me $14,000. Now, it was a fresh, brand new LLC. They gave me 14.5. Actually, sorry, they gave me $14,500. Right after that, I ended up getting my American Express Gold card. Right after that, I got an Office Depot business credit card. I kept those cards for 6 months, okay, because we were already halfway in the year. Like I said, it was the springtime, it wasn't summer yet. December 2019, I went to the dealership, and this is on my page because it ain't no cap in my rap. All right, I love showing stuff. December 2019, I went to the dealership and got me a brand new wide body Hellcat Challenger. That car ran me 95,000, and then 2 to 3 days later, I went to Mercedes and bought me my S550 Benz, and that ran me about $100,000. The Hellcat was strictly business, and the Mercedes was a PG. So PG. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for stopping you guys. These questions are some good questions. So I'm gonna come back to that question.
Run them back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can run the questions back up too.
Okay. So I put my Mercedes as I did a personal guarantor. That's when they looked at my personal, but they put it in my personal name and my business name, which I didn't mind. I knew I was gonna get approved for the cars. I went to the dealership, 785 credit, 770 to 790 credit scores. I had the income. I was just happy they put it in my business name, because that's $200,000 in my business name. I already had cars. I was just like, 200K after 6 months of building like my business credit, run it. Like, it was no complaints at all. So they will look at your personal credit to see how you are as a consumer first before wanting to give you stuff on the business side. The advantage when dealing with the business side of things is you can run your business credit as many times. Yeah. There's no utilization issues on your business side as well. But you have to make sure you pay your stuff, because you can affect your payday scores. It's just like your consumer, your personal credit. You still got to pay everything on time. Now, you get more money, and business credit is definitely major now, but you still have to make sure you're doing what you have to do. Okay. Could you please run back that that question?
Yes.
How many years before they are no longer needing to look at your personal credit for business? There isn't necessarily you have business credit for so long, we don't need to look at your personal. They still may take a look. It may be a soft pull versus a hard pull, which is them just saying, oh, okay, that's cool. Because even with my Office Depot credit card, they didn't do a hard pull. They ended up looking at my Equifax credit report just to see my personal credit report, just to see where I was, and that was that. So there's not necessarily a time frame on, oh, okay, we don't even have to look. It just depends on that bank. It honestly just depends on that bank. But if they are seeing certain things like paydex scores where you're 85, 90, 95, 100 and things of that nature, they may not, decide to look at your personal. But if they do look at your personal, they just want to make sure things are good at home. Because if your business was to fail and or your business was to lose money, now they're like, so who gonna pay us? That's how they're gonna look at it. But if you have good credit, they're gonna look at it as they're gonna find a way to make it happen because they have good credit.
So, like you said, credit is power, and cash can be king.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when they're only requesting your EIN, they are still seeing your personal. Yes, depending on that lender, but typically yes. But this is why it's also important when you're looking at your credit reports. So Experian, for an example, Experian will show you all three credit reports. If you don't have an account, create an account with them, it'll be $0 to make you an account to pull all three credit reports, right? Um, when you're looking at your credit report, at the bottom of that credit report, and I'm not saying on the actual screen, if you're trying to save your credit report, or look at your credit reports in PDF form, when you scroll all the way to the bottom, it's going to show you your hard increase and it's also going to show you your soft increase. So there's a chance that they still may do a hard increase on your personal credit whenever you're applying for business credit, but sometimes they will just do a soft pull, just as I said, to just take a look, just to see. So it just depends, but just understand what you may be getting into by running your credit.
So let's just say we have someone that may not necessarily say, hey, I don't want to do anything when it comes to being in business. I am okay with being an employer. But I started off in high school or college and my credit was messed up. And what things would you recommend to those people who are trying to get back on track? Let's say if their credit is, because what's the lowest you can have? 450?
0.
Oh.
I having no credit, having nothing. But as you said, if you already have some bad stuff, then you're gonna be looking at the threes. The lowest I really seen are in the threes. Sometimes people might see a 4 on their credit report, but that 4 just means you don't have enough information to generate an actual higher score. But if someone is coming out of high school, going into college, or even if they are, young adult status, so 20, 21, etc., up to 25, and they have those issues, the first step is checking your credit reports, pulling your credit reports. Okay, you looking at your credit report, it would not add any type of increase. Okay, that's a myth. Some people think that, me going to Experian or TransUnion or Equifax, me pulling my credit report is a pull. Unless you are running a credit application like to see about getting a credit card, a personal loan, a car loan, an apartment, etc., you are not running your credit. So please always be in the know, because 4 out of 5 consumers have credit mistakes, inaccuracies, erroneous information that's on their credit report. So always be in the know, because when you know better, you do better. All right. So the first step is pulling your credit reports. Once you pull your credit reports, you need to identify what's incorrect, what's erroneous. Not, I have this car loan on my credit and I don't want to pay it no more, or I really had this credit card and I did bad on it. Like, and you're trying to erase, information that really does belong there, because that's against the law, right? But the first step is trying to see what type of items that those derogatory, it's trying to see the type of derogatory that item could be. Because with collections, you kind of have more leeway, more freedom in getting those removed by the actual reporting debt collector versus creditors or the original creditor. So if you got a credit card with Capital One, or you got a car loan through Navy Federal, creditor accounts, typically they don't like to remove those, no matter if you pay it off in full or anything of that nature. But when it comes to collections, depending on that company, they may do something called paper deletion. So typically with college students, young adults, I do see more collections than charge-offs, especially if they had a fresh new file. So with, like, they may have a Verizon or a T-Mobile bill, or they may have a utility bill with Georgia Power or Alabama Power or whoever. And the first step is trying to see, like, hey, is there anything I can do to, like, do you guys accept paper deletions? If they do accept paper deletions, work out whatever payment that you need to do. Once you pay that, then 30 to 45 days from that, make sure you get it in writing first. Okay, get it in writing first.
It
Even
ain't
if you got to
wrong. It happen.
even if you got to record the conversation with iPhones now, you can record conversations. So call them, record the conversation, or if you have another phone, like I said, record it so that get all their information, etc. So if you have to press the issue, you can push that button. All right, because this is recorded. So what can they say? But the first step is honestly, like I said, just looking at what you have and just trying to see what you can do to address those issues. If you have issues with trying to get those things removed, then that's when people like myself come in to try to get those things addressed for you, because it's a fight now. I'm not a lawyer or an attorney, but I do use laws, consumer law, things that were put into place to protect you as a consumer that you don't know about. I am here to try to exercise your rights in a sense. So what type of business justifies the use of a scat? Something like Turo. I heard that the type of car you buy on business needs to justify your business. I have a consulting business, and I got $200,000 worth of cars, and both of the cars, I got a Hellcat. If you are familiar with the Hellcat, I had a muscle car, and I had a Mercedes Benz, a luxury car. I didn't really have to do no justifying. I didn't really have to do any justifying, but I would say when it comes to, I like that question right there, so I
Ooh,
definitely
I was
come
about to
back
say,
to
I
that.
know you're gonna like that one because
Yeah, I love that one. When it comes to justifying what the product that you're trying to get or obtain by using your credit, I don't know. It's a lot of, how can I put this? I literally made a video today about how there are a lot of credit repair marketers that say if you want to get a credit card application approved, apply 11 p.m., 12 a.m., 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. It's a hack because the customer service may be down, or the underwriting department may not, you don't have a person looking at it, So I like to debunk a lot of stuff because I didn't have to do any of those things. $25,000 credit cards at 12 o'clock in p.m., American Express cards 9 o'clock a.m. or 4 o'clock in the afternoon or 6 o'clock in the evening. So it's the same thing when it comes to just buying cars. If your credit reports are structured properly, you can do whatever you want. Point blank, period. So I don't want to say that you have to necessarily justify, because there are a lot of high risk professions out here. Even when people go into the credit repair industry, credit repair, alcohol, tobacco, gambling, CBD, all of those industries, even trucking, all of those industries are high risk. So sometimes I will say the loophole around that is how you structure or formulate your business, what you put it under. But I would just say honestly, just try to make sure your credit reports are just structured properly. And when you go to a bank and say, "Hey, I want to try to see if I get in this car in my business name," either they're gonna tell you yay or nay, or what you're gonna have to do in order to get it approved. So I have clients. That have apartment complexes, Turo businesses, Airbnb, and trucks. And I haven't once seen some of them. I haven't seen how their stuff is structured, but I will say none of them came to me saying, "Hey, do I have to specifically structure my LLC or my business information to be what I'm using my business credit for?" Of course, it depends. Like if you're trying to do a construction business, then yes, you need to try to have things on point, because it's probably deeper stuff with that. Engineering takes place with that and all type of other stuff that's not in my expertise. So I don't want to get into that part, but it just depends. I'm gonna just say it just depends. Honestly, it does. What determines if you need credit repair versus doing a bankruptcy? Some people feel like they have. Listen, they're gone too far for repairs. So, and this is crazy because I just talked to one of my influencer clients about 2-3 days ago, and he told me like something. I asked him. He was like, "Bro, I'm gonna commit one of the deadly sins." There's literally what he said. He said, "I'm about to commit one of the deadly sins. Like, do you think I should?" He said, okay, he said, "I got a little situation and I know this is gonna be like a credit sin." And he was like, "Is it best that I declare bankruptcy?" And I told him, no. I said, if your debt is no more than I tread lightly when I say this number. If your debt is really no more than 50,000, then don't do it. And a lot of the times, me as a professional, I'm very upfront, I'm very thorough, and I'm blunt. But I'm not going to tell my client, well, you just got to make more money. Like, why would I? No, like, that's not fair to people because you don't know no one's situation, especially those who are single mothers, those who are doing it on their own with no family. I can't just do that. Like, I care about my clients. That's kind of my problem. I care too much, in a good way, but it's if look at your overall credit situation because you can either do chapter 7 or chapter 13, and with I want to say 13 you got to pay that money back, so it's like a payment, like you're still paying some type of money versus if you do 7 and it ends up discharging everything. I will honestly say look at everything, look at your entire debts, right? Because as I stated earlier, there's nothing that can't be negotiated. So I had someone inquiring about business. Still waiting for him to sign up, but he inquired about business last Saturday while I was watching the Falcons play. And he sent me a document where he owed Santander, which is a auto lender, he owed them $13,000. He offered to pay them $1,000 and they took it. That's $12,000 that he saved. That's $12,000 that he saved. So with him saving that money, I really wanted to show you guys. With him saving that money, I look at it like you just have to communicate. And one thing that we have a problem with, and I can say this for a lot of people across the board, no matter what their race or background are, but with us specifically, we don't like to communicate. I have to chase down people. I look at it like, why in the world am I chasing you down as if I'm a debt collector and you paid me because you want me to get these people off your back, but you're treating me like them. Why are you ignoring me? Why are you ignoring my calls? You paid me funds, you pay me your hard-earned money to help you, but you're dodging me now. So I tell people we have to communicate because when you are communicating with people, not only do they have it in black and white, so if they decide to take you to court, they might give you some mercy or some grace, or they'll give you grace, period. Like, okay, you owe this amount, but what can you do? Yeah, you may not be able to prevent it from reporting on your credit report as a late payment, but if you communicate, you don't know what somebody can do to help you. Closed mouths do not get fed. Okay. So I just suggest like communicating with them to see what you can do to get these balances low. But if your debts aren't too just astronomical, like don't try to file bankruptcy. See what you can do to get these issues off your credit reports first. Because I tell people the credit repair process isn't for me to go on Instagram and brag that I got stuff off. And it's not for you to think that just because it's removed, you don't have to pay it anymore. You still have to pay it, okay? But it's for me to open up more doors that weren't open. More doors open up for a 600 than a 550, a 650 than a 600, etc. Okay? So once we have these erroneous accounts and this inaccurate information removed from your credit reports, then what we're going to do is we're going to communicate with the people that you owe and see what we can do to get those balances down. Because your credit has gone up from having these derogatory issues removed, your scores 9 times out of 10 have gone up as well. So imagine if after we negotiated $50,000 down to $20,000, we could go to a bank, your personal bank, ask them for $20K. They'll give you that $20K, pay back everybody that you owe, and instead of you paying back 10 different people, now you're only paying back one bank.
Consolidate.
So you consolidated. So those 10 people probably, imagine if they ask for $1,000 a month. That's $10,000 that you got to pay a month, right? But when you consolidated, they might just only want $300 a month. That's something that you could do. So it just depends. So me, I'm the type of person I really look at people's credit reports and I send not only a credit analysis, but then I send a simple breakdown. So that way, if you don't understand what's in that credit analysis, I can break it down in simple terms because I want to say Einstein said this: if you can't explain it to a 7-year-old, then you yourself don't understand it. So I want to break it down to you so that way I'm here to calm your nerves. I'm here to make things like, I don't want you to think that, oh no, my world is like everything is like my world is coming to an end. Like, what can I do? Like, I can't handle. Like, no, you just got to talk to a professional that's gonna focus on you, not focus on what I can get out of you, but focus on listen, Linda. All you got to do is this, and we can work on certain things. And when we work on these things, I'm here with you. I'm not going nowhere. We signed an agreement. The agreement is to protect you. Okay. So I'm not going anywhere because this is my passion. You just have to be able to listen. I'm the captain of this ship. Like, so you gotta listen to me and allow me to help you the best as possible. I can't give you any legal advice because I'm not an attorney or a lawyer, but I'm gonna tell you what it is that I can tell you. I'm actually gonna work on being a paralegal so I can give you legal advice. And once I do that, like, come on, like it's just a job that we got to do. What'd you say?
That's a one-stop shop right there.
Listen, and that's what I like to do. Like, I've been doing this for so long. I had all my fun. I had all doing all the content and doing all like. Listen, I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I do community service. I donate money to schools. I go talk to children. I do this to help people. That was my purpose. One of my clients is Muslim, and he asked me. He was like, "Do you know what Malik means?" I said, "Of course I know what Malik means. Malik means kings of kings. It means master. It means ruler, right?" But he said, "That's true," because Malik is Arabic. He said that's true, but Malik was also a prophet where people traveled long distances to ask him questions. So I look at it like that's what people do now. I have people across this country that come to me to ask me questions about their certain situation, and all I can do, I'm not going to BS them or give them the runaround. I'm gonna tell them what I can tell them, and if I don't know the answer, I tell them, give me at least 24 hours to do some research, and then I'm gonna give them an honest. Can't help you. It's beyond me now. Even people with garnishments, I've been able to assist, but it's everybody's situation varies, and you just really have to be willing to do this work. I'm your trainer. We could be in the gym working out all day long, but when you go home, if you go eat bad, or if it's a weekend, you're drinking and doing all of these things that's reversing the progress we made. It's above me now. It's only so much I can do. I'm sorry for being loquacious and whatnot. I see some questions and stuff, so I'm so sorry.
Because not only that, he talk about going to the gym talking bad. We have our nutritious champions on here now, so don't try to get us in trouble. Talk about eating bad.
Right, they already know my relationship.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
I'm
sorry, y'all.
You're good for now. I'll allow it.
Consolidating offense, is that negative or positive?
If you want me to, or if you want to do it.
I've been talking a lot, so you got it.
It depends, Wendell. Consolidating the loans depends on like the APRs that you have. So if you have an APR on a credit card that's 19 over here, 17 over here, 28 over here, because a lot of credit cards are variable, or even if you have something that's fixed, sometimes it is in your best interest just to pay and consolidate it. So you're paying maybe like a 14% or a 7% on that loan or the interest rates instead of having 18, 19, 28, 24, 6, 9 here. So now you're being able to save money on the interest, and that interest that you would have been paying towards that loan, you can now keep in your pocket and either pay off that loan quicker, or you can be able to invest it. So it really just depends on the numbers.
So my question is, how do you find a good company? Because I get things in the mail all the time, and I'm just like, I don't know, So how do you find a good company that would consolidate your cards?
It really just depends on the situation, who you are comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? Like what may work for Malik may not work for you. Or they may look at something in your background and say, okay, well, we're going to give you this at this interest rate, but this bank over here will give you another interest rate. So when you really kind of look at it, I always like to tell people, get all your debts together, list the APR on your debt, and also the minimum amount that you have to pay on that debt. And then that kind of give you a better understanding of how much money you're actually dishing out each month. Because a lot of times too, when we do have credit cards, like you said, we'll rob Peter to pay Paul, and then we'll rob Paul to pay Peter. And from there, we're in a never ending cycle, and we're giving the banks more money than what, we should be having for ourselves.
The interest, boy.
It's a killer. And right now, interest rates right now, they have the economy. It's high. They're not trying to really lend out money like that at this moment. So it just really depends.
So my next question is about pledge loans. If someone has bad credit, how would a pledge loan help them to build their credit?
Just like with any loan, you documenting your payment history can help you. I have a love hate relationship when it comes to pledge loans because I remember in 2024 in in yes, in 2024 I encountered someone who his credit really wasn't bad. He had several pledge loans of like $100,000 that he paid off. He had trade line authorized user accounts on his credit report that were reporting great, long history, great limits. All of his credit history was on point. He just had like a lot of inquiries. And even when those inquiries went down because they got removed, he still couldn't get approved for nothing. And he was going off of all of the stuff he heard on social media about go get. It wasn't even about the authorized user account. He went and got a pledge loan, and he got the loans, paid them off, got them, paid them, got them, paid them. He was doing everything he was supposed to, but he just kept getting denied for everything. His utilization was low, his inquiries was low, his payment history was at 100%. He had no derogatory items. It just the banks were just not his friends. So when it comes to pledge loans will help. Pledge loans will help and whatnot, but it just really depends. But no, pledge loans are going to help like a typical personal loan would. A typical trade line or a typical account would. Make your payments on time. They do say, rule of thumb, like if you get a pledge loan of $10,000, pay back a little amount and then gradually pay every month just so that way they can see the history is there of you making those payments, and then you could turn around and probably ask for a larger amount. A
This is
pledge loan.
really quick.
I'm sorry.
This is the pledge loan, that money going back into your account. A pledge loan is not, okay. It's like you're
In
borrowing from yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
No. What did he do? Oh my goodness.
Isn't
I
it
and
like a secured card or something like that? When you borrow from yourself, it's a secured loan.
It's like a secured loan,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. I was going to say, yeah, because it's
Mhm.
like you initially like fronting the money in a sense.
Right.
Whenever you're doing something that's secure, you essentially are fronting like that money, which is why they kind of look at it like if you mess up, then we got your deposit, or we have certain money that what we'll do is your credit report, your credit been hit on these late payments, but once it gets to a point where they're charging it off or closing that account, we're gonna take this deposit, pay off everything. Now we good. You don't owe us and everything, we good. Bygones be bygones. But when it comes to pledge loans, it's essentially as they stated, it's a secure loan. But I really don't like them. I'm a big fan of telling 100% of something because I feel like if you tell half the truth, it's not necessarily that you're lying, but you're not giving all of the information. And in this game, so many people correct. So many people give the same information, and really a lot of this information be regurgitated. You can't even tell me certain information. You can't even give me one USC code that you might use that's consumer law that can benefit someone. But you'll take someone else's content, do a half and half type of screen, and then you'll have a caption that says comment free to get added to my free masterclass or whatnot. You didn't say nothing but sit there and do facial expressions and whatnot. So it's like, what is your advice to help young adults in their 20s remain debt free? Don't get nothing. No, I was just kidding. Um, when it comes to be debt free, I'm gonna say this. Just like we're brainwashed as a society to focus more on credit scores versus the credit history, because the credit history is what gets you approved, not the credit score. That's why a person with a 650 that has 7 years of credit history can get approved before someone with a 750 that has 1 year credit history. I feel like when it comes to being debt free, the word debt has a bad name.
Mhm.
And because there is a difference between good debt and bad debt. Okay. I would say I don't want them to be debt free in their 20s. Okay. I don't think we can really be debt free. Yes and no, because you're gonna need something. Like I said earlier, if you have $1 million, if you want to stay debt free and you want to buy a house, that's I don't care if it was 300,000, 500,000, or 750,000. You gotta pay all that money, and that's debt. So now your money is decreasing, and you want to have to buy everything, not using your credit. Just pay it back on
Care
time. I mean,
property taxes. It's
like
all set up.
it's so much stuff. And guess what? Nothing is really
Yours.
like you said something about property taxes, right?
Mm.
So imagine you pay off this house. What is it? 30 years, 15 or 10 years. Oh, I got a house. I paid it off.
You
Cool.
still owe, baby.
You still owe. If you don't pay them property taxes, it could
They
be
gonna
fifty
take it.
dollars, it could be $100, it could be $1 million. They're gonna come and take your house.
They
But
gonna take it.
I suggest honestly that they don't remain debt free. I'm so upset that I did not bring all of my cards with me, but I have 30 credit cards. Okay. I started my credit process when I was 19. My very first credit card was a Care credit card when I got my teeth bleached. These are veneers, but my teeth under these veneers are still a-okay. Okay, don't hey, I pull up some pictures if we need to. I just did this because I had the money to do it. But my very first credit card was a Care credit card, and they gave me $400. And at that point, that started the credit train when it came to me, and I just got card after card after card after card, and then I started getting the 25,000 to 20Ks and stuff, and I did do swiping, go buy stuff and this and that, but I knew I had the ability to pay things back, and I also understood paying stuff back on time. It's like going to the gym over time. You're getting those gains. You're getting stronger. So I don't really suggest them being debt free. I do say, like Uncle Ben told me, because I'm Spider-Man, that with great power comes great responsibility. But you just gotta be mindful of what it is that you are spending your money on. But I don't suggest them being debt free at all, because banks and lenders like looking at a credit report. Your credit report is your resume. You feel me? They want to see you have a mix of different credit accounts. They want to see where all these people gave you money. Now, your ability to pay that money back depends on your financial situation, true enough. But I don't recommend being debt free in the 20s. I just recommend being responsible and having a strong enough credit profile that if that 20-year-old, because I know a 21-year-old that owns several um food restaurant stands in the mall. He's 21. He stays. I can't tell you where he stays, but he has a $1.2 million house. He got a Lamborghini Urus, which is a Lamborghini truck, a lamb truck, as they say. He has all of these things, and he's 21. And what's crazy is how I met him. He was at his he has like a dessert ice cream stand. I want to say, what mall was I at? I was at Town Center, I think. And he was like, "Hey, do you want to try my deep fried Oreos?" I, try to watch everything that I eat and whatnot. And I said, "I'm good." I walked by again. It was a different person that asked me. Sorry, the first time it was an employee of his. The second time it was him. And I said, and we started talking. And I said, he asked me what I did or something of that nature. And I was like, you know what? Show me your credit. If you got over a 700 credit score, I'll buy some Oreos. And I pulled this card, and he showed me he had $1 million worth of debt. $1 million worth of debt, 70s and 80s across the board, and he's only 21 years old. I didn't buy the Oreos, but I bought like a smoothie that had like vitamins and stuff in it. But like, I suggest get that debt, because that debt can work for you. Yes, he has a $1.2 million house, but that house is going to appreciate. He has equity in that house. He could decide to do a HELOC, take that money out, use that money for something else. Yes, he got to pay it back because it's a loan. And for those who don't know, a HELOC is a home equity line of credit. So he could take money out of that house, even if he decided, if he had $200,000 worth of equity in that house, he take that 200 out. Yes, it's a loan, as I stated, but he take that 200,000 and make 500K, pay back that bread, and now he's sitting back with 300,000. So credit, I'm telling you, man, I preach it. And one thing I hate is my generation is so focused on the glam and glitz of everything. We're so focused on the he say, she say, the street gossip, the celebrity gossip, the looking cool and things of that nature. I don't judge people. I tell people that I don't judge them, because I deal with people that come to me and say, "I've been watching you for this amount of time, that amount of time, etc. I was just afraid for you to look at my credit." And I'm like, why? You see what it is I can do for people. You see that I'm not a fraud or a scammer or whatever the case may be, you see that I really like doing this and helping people and stuff. Like, why are you being afraid? There's no reason to be afraid. I'm here to help you. And we focus on all the wrong things.
Yeah.
But people don't realize that credit, we really need it. And then I have people that come to me, hey, my lease is up in 2 weeks. Can you help me? Or my car just broke down. Can you help me? And I'm like, it takes 30 days for me to get a response from them. And I don't do credit suites where I'm cleaning your credit in 7 to 14 days because I'm filing paperwork saying that you're a victim of human trafficking. Because I'm not trying to go to federal prison and you neither. So, like, you want it done right or you want it done fast? Because if you want it done fast, I'm going to do it legally, but it's going to cost you a grip. Because at the end of the day, your emergency is not my emergency. I like doing this. I love doing this. I'm too deep to get out of this. It's blood in, blood out. I can't get out of this. But at the end of the day, you have to be more responsible. Like, I'm not judging you and I'm not nagging to you. I'm not your mother or father. But at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you what's real, because a lot of people out here are not going to do that. A lot of people want your credit to be bad because they know as soon as you get that power in your hands of that credit card, you out of here.
You can't be controlled either.
You can. I was getting $80,000 cars off of the showroom floor at 22 years old. 80,000 using my credit without even. I'm calling PenFed. Hey, can I get a pre-approval for this car? The dealership told me that they didn't want to work with me. The next day, I called them myself. Hey, can I get this pre-approval for this car? How much the car? 80,000. They looked at my credit, did all of this stuff. Cool, I got it. Oh, by the way, would you like to have an American Express card as well? Run it. So I have a PenFed American Express card too. This was in 2018. I got 3 cars that week. I got my 2018 Hellcat. I bought my mom a Altima, and I bought my girlfriend a Hyundai Elantra. 3 cars in 1 week.
3 in 1. And
wait, hold on.
You want to know how I did it?
Over there. She's like,
you want to know how I did it?
Wait, yeah, I want to know how you did it too. But the thing is, I hope everybody that's under the sound of his voice is learning and taking something away from this, because this here is deep. And what you're giving here on tonight, Malik, in this workshop is priceless, because we like to run to social media. Why? Because we want to make their influencers richer. They telling us what we want to hear. Why? Because we're dealing with a microwavable society. We want stuff right now, right away. And another myth that's out there too, I'm going in another direction, is I was one of those ones that did it. Use my credit card and then pay off the thing, whatever I used the following month, right? And I don't feel bad. Now, you say you have 30, I have 28, and my 28 was my black card. And I say after my black card, it's a wrap. I don't want nothing else after that. And I put
you better get what you can get. Get everything. Get 100. Get 100 cards.
And even if you don't use them, just cut them up. Because at the end of the day, like you said, right, you want that history.
So still use them, but you don't have to use them. Because of course, if you don't, they'll close them and stuff, and then that'll hit your credit and whatnot. Get that bread. I tell people credit's for leveraging in emergencies now.
But what about the myth? If you spend it 1 month and you pay it off the next, what about that myth? Is that a myth or is that true?
What's the myth necessarily? Like, what are they saying? It's something bad?
It don't work for you if you pay it off, because they want to see that you leave at least $5 to $10 on it. They say.
Not necessarily. You got to think about it. If they see this stuff, right? And imagine if all right, let's say we watching Power or some type of narco type of show or something, right? Let's say a person goes to the plug and they are fronted a certain amount of drugs. I'm sorry I had to go dark like this, but it's the first thing I thought about.
Okay, y'all, listen, we're not trying to get anybody to do this.
No, it's so okay. All right, let me change it. If a person, if Ashley goes to you, use them, don't mess it. Exactly. But don't go over 30%. Like, don't go over 30. Typically try to keep it at 10% or less. But let's say Ashley goes to you and says, hey, can I get $10? I pay, today is August the 14th. I pay you back your $10 by September the 14th. She decides to pay it back to you on August 21st. It's only been a week, right? But are you gonna say, well, darn, you didn't I mean, like, yes, you could have made interest off of her, but you're still looking at it as, damn, she gave me my money back. She paid me back what I gave her.
Okay.
And you gotta also think about it this way too. That's the way that you try to minimize interest. And as you having a black card, M.O.M.S, they are essentially a net 30 company where whatever like, they're doing over time payments now like your traditional credit card company. But with them being a charge card, whatever you swipe, you got to pay that at the end of the month. They're not going to get mad and upset at you about that. Want to know why? You determine your preset spending limit. So that's how come people would say Amex, American Express cards don't have a limit. They don't, but you determine your limit. If you're using your card heavily and you're paying it back, 1 month is 5,000. The next month it might go to 10. You don't really use it like that and don't pay it back all at once, then that 10 might turn into 3. So it just depends on what is it that you do. That you use it and pay it before the statement date all the way off. When it comes to statement dates, closing dates, and things of that nature, I tell people like this. If you have, let's say you have a low limit credit card, a $500 credit card, 30% of that is 150, if I'm not mistaken, right? So if you have a low limit credit card like that, you can spend a full 500 just for your sake. Just make sure you have a payment processing for $350 in the next day or so. So use your card how you want to, but just make sure you have a payment already scheduled. So if they do happen to report it, it won't say that you maxed out the card, which will drop your score. You're doing whatever you need to use that card for, and they'll see that, okay, you're already processing it. Boom. So if they do happen to report that card, let's say 4 days after you done use it, you already know, well, at least my balance is going to show that I'm at that 30% mark. So it's kind of like a responsibility way of using it. One myth that I love debunking is you paying your credit card twice a month will not boost your score 2 times in a month. If you owe these folks $100, if you pay them 50 on the first and 50 on the 15th, they're not going to give you 2 congratulations. Thank you. You owed us $100, so thank you for our $100. It's like simple as that. So I kind of hate when I see people say, "Yeah, pay your credit card twice and you'll get a." No, that's not how that works, people.
What about your mortgage?
One thing I will say about mortgages, I mean, you just got to make sure that you specify, hey, I'm putting a certain amount towards my principal, because they'll let it just get ate up with the interest. But as long as you're making those compound payments, especially on your mortgage, that 30-year mortgage, you getting it paid down quicker. They typically say it's so hard, man. It's so hard nowadays to talk about paying things, because even those who are financially stable, they still don't want to have to pay extra if they don't need to. There are people at the dealerships with 780, 790s, 800 credit scores still getting 8% APRs on cars. So imagine if they're still getting possibly 6%. I mean, I don't actually know better than I do, but imagine they're still getting 7-8% on their mortgage. Like, at the end of the day, it's just one of them things. Like, everybody's suffering. Some are suffering less than others. But with mortgages, if you're able to pay more towards that principal, then of course you're gonna be paying that house down quicker.
But
I've seen it with my own eyes.
You have to tell them it has to go to the principal. So if you owe that payment, pay that payment off. And then if you want to make the payment the next day, the next week, before that next bill issues, call them and say, hey, this is going towards a payment. I actually learned that the hard way when it came to my car note, because I'm like, yeah, I'm up on my car note. And I'm like, what's going on? And they were like, oh, you have to call us and let us know that you want this to go towards the principal. And once I was able to pay my car off faster, I'm like, I should have been had my car paid off, because I'm making all these extra payments. What's going on? So, but I want to say this, because this is great, Malik. And what I'm feeling
we going over.
This needs to be I think we just need to do a second one. I mean, if you're cool with that, I really do feel that people have more questions. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I love talking about credit because, at the end of the day, a lot of our people are ignorant. Some people don't know how to use the word ignorant properly, but ignorant is a lack of knowledge. And, as they typically say, we're not taught this and things of that nature, which is true. But they also say to put it, to hide it from a black person, to put it in a book. and we don't like to read. We don't like to research. We don't like to do any of those things sometimes. And I don't mind. Well, no, I take that back. I'm not baby feeding any adults. Okay. I'm gonna hold your hand because I want you to succeed because you're a reflection of me. But you gotta have that due diligence to step out and say, I want, like, if you hear that a certain celebrity died, what you gonna do? You gonna run
They
right to
be
Google
posting
and do
it.
some research. You're
Right.
gonna do some research on how this person
He did
died.
X,
And
Y,
so
and Z. They defended
listen,
him.
but you feel me? But if a person told you how to fish your credit or certain things to look at when it comes to your credit or certain investments or just some financial literacy in general, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, thanks. You're not gonna do some research or you're gonna ask, how can I do this? How can I do this? How can I do this? And you
Right.
want to spoon fed. And one thing
Right.
is the game is to be sold, not told. You
That is
know?
true. That
But
is so true.
it's you gotta do your due diligence. What was
That
that? What was that statement or comment at the
it
bottom?
was, because we're going to get to that too. It was, can you tell people, one, how to be able to reach you? And I do think we should have a second spinoff when it comes to this, because there's so much that we can really kind of dive into when it comes to credit. And I know some people definitely have a lot more questions when it comes to credit. So stay tuned for that second date for a follow-up after this one, because Malik, it was
I'm
great.
ready when y'all are.
Really, really great. But go ahead and just kind of drop your information, your Instagram, how people can be able to contact you if they are wanting your services.
Well, you can follow me or reach out to me on Instagram at sign the real Malik Hall. That's Hall, which I want to say I did list on my screen name possibly. You could
I
definitely
can't
reach
see
out.
it.
Can't
You
see
could
it.
definitely,
Yeah.
yes, that's perfect. Oh yeah, you can't see it, it disappeared.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, that's how you can reach out to me. I'm gonna tell you now, I'm friendly. I do have links in my bio that you can use to schedule a consultation if you would like. So it's free. Just understand, like, I don't like to waste my time and I don't want you to waste yours. You have to take this process seriously. For those who have seen ATL, I say this to all my clients when we get started. It's grown man business. It is. And I'm the type of person, I will tell you if you're doing, I would tell you about yourself. I would do it respectfully, but
Right.
I'm gonna tell you about yourself because at the end of the day, this is your credit. I shouldn't want this more than what you do. And it's not to, you know, sound cocky or anything. I'm good. I'm together. I'm here to spread knowledge and to help you. So
Yes.
you have to listen because to be a great leader, you have to be a follower. You have to be able to be teachable. You have to be able to listen, so that way you can be able to teach. Because imagine if whether you have children or not, okay, you could then teach your siblings. You could teach your parents. You
Yep.
could teach your friends. Imagine if you came to me for services. I got you together. Then your friends, because unfortunately, unfortunately, we don't like to do things until we like to see other people do it. So imagine if I was able to get you together with your credit and you have some information, even if it's minor or small information, then you could put your friends on. Now all of you guys are able to put in $5,000 a piece. So let's say it's five of you. That's $25,000. You could take that $25,000, put that into an investment property or some sort. Um, you're able to each one teach one, correct? You're able to then have some type of residual income that y'all can all break down. Or one of you guys to turn around and open up a Chick-fil-A or open up your restaurant or open up one of those low managing businesses that we talked about. It all starts with you. I tell people the hardest part is the consultation. That's the hardest part. You're getting past that denial. You're understanding what it is that you need to get done. It's like you going to the doctor and you getting a physical. That's like you taking your car to the mechanic and you getting a diagnostic. Once you know, it's on you to fix it. I tell everyone the ball is in your court. I'm not here to sell to you. I'm not a salesman. I'm not going to push and force you to start services with me because you can do that and then you still drop the ball. It got to be you. You got to like just like a person has to tell us I got to go to the gym to work on my fitness or to work on my health or it's certain things that I have to do. Just don't wait till the last minute. Just like a person who has health issues may wait till the last minute and then it's too late. It's the same way with your credit. You wait till the last minute. Now you're getting summons. Now you're getting served. Now you have to go to court. Then because you're not that good with taking care of your business, now a judgment is against you because you didn't show up. Now your paycheck's getting garnished. Now you could have simply set up a payment plan with that company for $50 a month, but now the judge ruled in the company's favor. Now you got to take out $250 on each paycheck, so now you got to pay $500 a month. You just went up times 10. It's like it's a lot that goes into making sure that you're setting yourself up for success. But it all starts with you. I'm here. If we did work, you will have an agreement that'll protect you because I do good business. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna hold you accountable because of what's listed in an agreement. I'm your servicer. You are my client. This is the cost of your services, your auditing and consulting services. These are the things we're doing for you. These are the things that you need to do on your end. You as a client, you have responsibilities. My team responds to messages same day to 1 day to 1 to 2 business days. I have over 800 people, but we respond to all messages. So I'm here to help you. I have a mobile app. So you will always be in the know. You can always send us a message. We're always going to see it. But you have to do all of the things that you have control over. Not run your credit, pay your bills on time, work on your open credit card balances. Make sure you're communicating with us all of the documentation that you're receiving in the mail so we'll know what you're getting because we're contacting them on your behalf, but they're going to turn around and contact you. If you're not able to communicate, it's a lost cause. And last, just have patience. Rome wasn't built overnight. I don't do credit sweeps, okay? I do stuff legally because I have a family to feed. I like to feed. I like being out. I like doing that. So I'm not going to do anything to get me jammed up because you want to do something because you decided to wait till the last minute. But it all starts with you. I'm just here to help you. I'm your ghostwriter, okay? You can become a multi-million-dollar person. I don't say, oh, you got to post me to the world so they'll know. Once you get that type of money, you're going to want certain people to know. I'm your secret weapon. So you're not going to want the world to know your secret weapon because that's how you might feel like your power is going to lessen. So just take care of your business. Like my mom told me, handle your business before your business handles you. And with credit, it can get a little wicked. But if you have issues where you feel like you may have to do bankruptcy, let me look at your reports. Let me just see. If you want to get a new car, a new home, new apartment, you want to work at Ashley, you want to do any of these things, just contact me. The consultation is free. So it's no risk. No, well, the only thing that you have to do is pay $1 to pull your credit report. But if you don't have $1, then we got to figure something out. You feel me? So it just takes you contacting me. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. So let's just see what we can do.
That's good, Malik. And now you guys can be able to see his handle for Instagram. Take a screenshot. Go ahead and head over to Instagram because you know if you swipe up, YouTube stay up. Go ahead and follow him right now. This is great.
We're gonna go commercial. We're gonna
go
commercial really quick.
Well, I appreciate y'all. I thank you.
Stay on.
Oh, yeah, staying on.
We're going to commercial really quick.
Oh, okay. I gotta pay some bills, you guys. We'll be back.
Hey guys, hey, listen, you definitely. Hold on. Hey guys, hey, listen, you definitely want to be in the building. September 6th, starting at 5 p.m. NFL Moms is presenting the Next Play Networking Mixer. You definitely don't want to miss it. So tell a mom to tell a mom to tell plenty of moms and athletes, entrepreneurs, business leaders, any of you, come on out, put on all your black and come out with us. This is an all-black event starting at 5 p.m. Man, our panel is going to be fire. So trust me, you want to get inside the Next Play. Guys, and the tickets are what? Only $50. How can you purchase the ticket? You by going over to our website at www.mothersofomotivatedsons.org and purchase your tickets there. However, do follow us on social media, Mothers of Motivated Sons on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll see you there at the Next Play. All right. We want
commercial.
To building, guys, September 6th at 5 p.m. Vendor spots is closing on tomorrow. Vendor spots is closing, and September 6th, it is going down in Hampton. It's gonna be in Hampton at oh my gosh, what's the name of the place?
Don't get it done.
The Henry County Parks and Recreation. It's inside by Crystal Lake. Y'all know I'm not from here, so I need a little bit of help. But it's on the invitation, guys. I'm sorry, on the flyer. It is across from Crystal Lake. I think it's the Lake Carmel, if I'm not mistaken, Mount Carmel or something like that. But I will have the information for you. If you go to the website, you definitely can see the address for it. However, we would love to see you guys in the building that night. We will have so many amazing people. We will be honoring a young lady from Clayton State, and she
Really?
is a basketball player. Amazing.
A great
Young
person
lady.
overall.
That's where I went to college. That's where I crossed.
Oh wow. Yes,
I went to Clayton State.
Okay, we will be honoring her. We will also be honoring a coach from the McDonough area. I'm not going to tell who he is. You will have to be in the building to find out exactly who he is. All right, the floor is handed back over to you both.
I just want to say, one, you guys, if y'all have not gotten y'all tickets, I'm telling y'all do want to be in this room. We got great panels, listening to great people. And if you just want to network when it comes to sports, you know what I'm saying? Be in that room. You don't want to miss it. And plus, who don't look good in all black? Come on. Black right here, right? So all I want to say is, again, thank you so much, Malik. This was very great. I really feel that this was information that people need to hear. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy part is about this, you were yourself. I don't know if people could be able to tell. Most times people come up and they're like, yes, my name is Malik. I have done X. You were able to be yourself. And that's something that people do need. Nothing about it is flawed, right? So, and you have a testament. You're able to help thousands of people when it comes to their credit score. And all you want out of it is for them to follow through with a contract that they signed. We've had this conversation multiple times where it's like, we can't want it more than you want it. You know what I'm saying? We can give you all the tools, but eventually it's just going to be up to you in order to use those tools to elevate yourself in life. But I
thank you.
No problem. This is definitely great. I'm letting you know now that my phone is blowing up. So I know that this
is call her, blow her up. Be annoying.
So we will definitely be getting together so we can just run a part 2 of this, because we want to leave them with a little something. You know what I'm saying? If y'all have not done so already, again, go ahead and follow my guy Malik, because when I tell you he is the truth, I am not lying. And if you guys know me, I am one of those people. I don't like to put nothing on my name, okay? Because my daddy had told me, if you don't have anything, you got your name, okay? And again, I thank you so much. And again, if you guys have not gotten those tickets, make sure you get those tickets and join us back here next Monday, as we will be doing another workshop. Erica, do you want to let us know what that workshop is going to be?
No, Ashley's supposed to know, because I know. Hold on 1 second. Ashley was supposed to know. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm gonna get you right. Who is coming up next? What is that date?
The
18th. All right. That one is the art of meal prepping. That is our nutritionist. Yes. She is in the building. Listen, you don't want to miss it.
They need that meal prep now.
You need that meal prep. Look, and if you have not done so already, make sure you guys follow Moms on social media again, because these workshops are given to you. They are for the community. And I'm letting y'all know now, y'all better get us while we free, okay?
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, everybody. Listen, this is, I love doing this. It's, as y'all could tell, like, I've been doing it for a long time, and I care for those who want to help themselves, because you can lead horses to the water, but you can't make them drink.
That's so true.
Make them drink. Thank you. I can't wait for part 2.
Thank you again. I hope you have a great night.
You too.
Well, we are not leaving here before we send out virtual hugs and send out love for everybody
that works for me. Did my heart
and virtual? Wait, what my heart? What my heart?
Mine never does it.
You have to put it.
Oh, it does it?
Yeah, mine never does it.
Well, you're too close, Malik. Come back, Ash. Go back some, and just put your hands right under, like by your chin. No. Well, I'll give it to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I can't get it. I'm trying to do it. I can't get it.
Well, I gave it to you guys. Look.
Thank you, Miss Eric.
I gave
Dr.
it to
Eric, I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you so very much for coming inside the huddle, bringing out your playbook on tonight, and not just bringing out your playbook, but being real. And I like to say, real, raw, and redeemed lived here on this podcast. So thank you for your
Sure.
transparency and thank you for your realness. And last but not least, what is that, Sam? I can't make out that emoji.
Hugs. Those are
It's
hugs.
a hug.
Thank you.
We got hugs emojis.
Sam gave me that.
Emojis.
Y'all fingers
Okay, first off, not too much on our fingers. Like you see how she coming for us, Malik?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, y'all! Listen, he. All I'm gonna say is you want to be on part 2. So tell a friend to tell another friend to tell all their friends, mama, sister, brother, cousin, to come on inside this huddle. Y'all want to get these jewels that's being dropped out of these playbooks. You don't want to miss it. So until next time, we thank you all for coming inside the huddle on tonight with the Malik Hall and the beautiful money champion, Ashley Cunningham. She's our money champion. Guys, come back on Monday, 7:30. 7:30, we will have our nutritionist champion in the building. So get inside these huddles, okay? Until next time, guys, we love you all. Bye-bye.
Good night.